Hey guys, it's Stephanie. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be, it's a rant about Pablo Hidalgo and an invite to him to sit down and watch it and to get him to understand that he can't talk about people the way he's been talking about them. Okay? I'm really angry. He said something about Harrison Ford, and you see it in the tweet I put on this, that is so reprehensible and disrespectful that it needed to be addressed, and he needs to be fired. I mean, he really, he needs to really, if he's not fired, and I still think something happened to him this summer, but we haven't gotten any official word, I really think they need to just do it if they haven't done it yet. And they need to let everybody know, yeah, he's no longer part of Lucasfilm, because he hates the OT characters, especially Han and Luke. But of course they're white men, and they make him feel insecure about himself. So enjoy the rant. Here we go. So apparently we're finding out a little bit more about how the story group felt about the original characters and the actors from the original trilogy, Star Wars. As I said in my intro, this is going to be a rant. And I'm going to use photographs after I'm done ranting about why this is bullshit. Okay? So Pablo Hidalgo is on Twitter basically telling somebody why he didn't like TFA. And he said it was okay until a certain character showed up. And of course, all the Skywalker fans are like, oh, it must be Luke. No, it wasn't. It was Harrison Ford. It was Harrison Ford. The biggest box office draw, when adjusted for inflation, in the history of Hollywood. And why? Well, you read the tweet. I put the tweet on this. Because suddenly, this guy is drawing the camera and no one sees Monotone Daisy, Monotone Boyega, and, no one can hardly believe that Adam Driver and those airplane flap ears and that hound, basset hound nose and those teeny tiny little eyes of his could be anywhere related to Harrison Ford and Carrie Fisher at all. Of course I went ballistic. I have been a fan of Harrison Ford since I was 9 years old. I just turned 50 in June, so that's about 40 years, 41 years, right? When I was a kid, we went to see A New Hope, and I was blown away. I'd never seen any guy that magnetic, that much charisma on screen in my life. I liked Clint Eastwood, I liked John Wayne, and you can name a few other big actors, but he got me right here. Ford got me right there, and he always has and always will. And my loyalty is to him in this, okay? When you have an unprofessional, no name, who's nothing but a glorified fanboy, who's an untalented hack, complaining that this legend, this icon, is taking over the screen from their new characters. What do you think he was gonna do? He's Harrison Ford. This guy has been part of the cultural zeitgeist, the framework, for decades. He came from nowhere to this status of icon that only John Wayne, Clint Eastwood, Clark Gable, Humphrey Bogart, and maybe Elvis Presley have attained. Okay, that's it. That's Harrison Ford. And you, Pablo, couldn't deal with the fact that this charismatic, casually masculine guy, just by showing up on screen, stomped all your pretty little one-dimensional poor actors into the ground. Well, what was he gonna do? That's what happens. He's been doing it. God, You know, there's a reason why Tommy Lee Jones acts with him. There's a reason why, you know, Gary Oldman can work with them, is because they can handle it. They're great actors. None of the actors that have been hired for Star Wars are good, except for the original cast. And you wonder why we're pissed off at you. So I look at this tweet. You didn't like TFA after he showed up because he made all your characters disappear. Here, Tiny Violin. Hear that? Boo fucking who? Who are you to criticize him? Who are you to put him down? Who are you to say what you just said? You no-name insect. You parasite. Just like the rest of the people that work at Lucasfilm and the Story Group. You're a bunch of SJW parasites. You're disgusting. You've sucked all the lifeblood out of Star Wars. You have no creativity. You sit there and bitch and moan at the fans when we get pissed off about what you've done. Well, you did it. You could at least admit it. You know, but here we go. Now you're sitting there bitching about Harrison Ford in TFA. He was the reason why most of us went to it. I mean, can I tell you something? No one cares who Daisy Ridley is. And when episode 9 thankfully is put on the shelf and done, no one's gonna give a shit after. And oh, by the way, from what I've heard, she doesn't give a shit either, because of the bullshit that has gone down at Lucasfilm. All right, you guys are the ones that started this. And this tweet about Harrison Ford, this low-class, insecure, beta male twat move on your part, Pablo, just proves you don't deserve to be where you are, if in fact you are where you are. And after this summer's weirdness on your Twitter account, I don't know if you are where you are. Okay? All right? Now you'll ignore this, or you'll go to your friends and cry, she was mean to me, the blonde white girl was mean to me. Well, look at what you just said about my favorite actor, about a lot of people's favorite actor, about one of the most professional, generous guys in Hollywood. You know, look what you just said about him. All right? You think you have the right to talk about that guy like that, you disrespectful little shit? Have you ever even noticed the fact of his body of work? Oh, I forget. You hate history. And you were bitching about Billy Joel's song, We Didn't Start the Fire. Billy Joel is one of the most talented musicians, songwriters, composers of the last 20th and 21st century. Okay? You're sitting there bitching and moaning about that. Do you know why he wrote that song? I know why. Let me tell you why. Because people like you don't know history. That's why he wrote it. And he wrote it back in the 80s. Guess what? He was right. All right? So you're sitting there bitching and moaning and calling it a boomer anthem. Guess what? It's more of a Generation X anthem. You know the grown-ups that have to come in and clean your fucking mess? Yeah, us. You know, the ones that will really, really, really want to fire your ass? Yeah, us. Me, right here. Okay? But here, let's go back to Harrison Ford. The following pictures are just random ones that I have found on the internet. I had to pare it down a little bit because it got way long. But just a reminder of where he's been and what he's done and the movies he's been in. And the fact that, unlike you, Pablo, he's touched billions of lives and made those people happy. You have made people miserable because you, just by following your Twitter account, are a miserable, insecure parasite. All right? Because no professional writer in Hollywood talks like that about any actor of the caliber of Harrison Ford. Because, let me tell you something. He is an icon. He is a legend. He is one of the last true movie stars, okay? And he deserves nothing but respect from a person like you, okay? And what you tweeted was disrespectful, all right? I don't know who raised you. I don't know where you get your cojones to talk like that about a guy like that, but you're not getting away with it with me, okay? All right? You're not, okay? Let me tell you something. That guy, like I said, came from nothing, all right? All right, George Lucas decided to give him the role of Han Solo after going through Burt Reynolds, Christopher Walken, Kurt Russell, which wouldn't have been a bad move, but the moment he gave it to Harrison Ford, Han Solo existed. All right, and you know, try as hard as you might to force soy boy Ehrenreich down our throats, it isn't working. Okay, let me explain why. First off, he's not really a masculine guy. He's a joke. Okay, he's too short, he's too squat, his head is too big, his hair is too light. He's a little teeny tiny beta male voice. He's a barista from the TV show Frasier. You know, he sounds like he's been sucking on helium. Okay, that is not sexy. All right, now maybe he makes you feel comfortable, and Kathy Kennedy feel comfortable because she's not intimidated. So I guess white alpha males intimidate you guys. Is that why? You know, and I know how he got the job. Everybody does. I've done videos on this. Uncle Steven pulled a power move for his accountant's son and his daughter, Princess Spielberg. Daddy, my friend Alden wants the role. Guess what? He's never going to play Han Solo again, because we know how much money they actually really did lose. And if they keep it up, if they make more movies with him as Han, they're going to lose more, because no one's going to want to see it. He's terrible. All right, he is absolutely terrible. Oh, and the script was terrible. All right, but hey, you know, it's the story group, and they have no talent. They're just a bunch of SJW, NPC losers who have gone to the framework of Star Wars like a bunch of termites and torn it down. That's what you guys are, really. You're a bunch of friggin' ideological termites. And it's time for you to go. So I'm going to ask Bob Iger, if you aren't gone now, why haven't you been? You've attacked the fans. You've insulted the biggest actor in Hollywood now. You've, I think, probably insulted J.J. Abrams, because I know you hate him, because I know he hates you, because it's obvious. You're not allowed on the set of... You're not allowed to sit on the set of Episode 9. You know, at least I don't think you are, if you're still working for Lucasfilm. Of course, it's never been announced, but they fired Chuck Wendig, like, boom, like that. And I just find it fascinating that, you know, you're sitting there now dissing Harrison Ford. And, you know, with absolutely no cause to do that. He is probably the major league reason anybody went to see TFA. To be honest, you know, TFA was a mediocre movie. It could have been better if JJ had had more time to write the script. Of course, he wouldn't let you in the story group anywhere near it, and I don't blame him. I mean, from what I've heard, this crap that's been going down at Lucasfilm with your little cabal going over there, your whitey-hating, emasculating, feminazi bullcrap has been going on since Kennedy became head of Lucasfilm. You know? So, you know, this shouldn't surprise me that you diss Harrison Ford. This shouldn't surprise me that you hate Han Solo. It doesn't surprise me at all that you probably hate Mark Hamill and Luke Skywalker. You probably really hate Hayden Christensen because he's a blonde white boy. You know, yeah, I'm calling you out as a racist, okay? Because you are. Okay, the fact is no one cares. You know, we're not, you know, you are an ideological parasite, and that's it. That's what you are. And you dissed the biggest movie star, the biggest box office draw, by, when you look at inflation, when you take inflation into consideration, in the history of Hollywood. I mean, Pablo, none of the actors that are in Star Wars after Harrison Ford and Mark Hamill, no one cares about them. I mean, no one. I mean, Adam Driver is... Ugh. I mean, heck. Alright? And there you are, crapping on Harrison Ford. For what reason? And don't sit here and make excuses. You're pissed off because no one gave a shit about your characters. Your politically correct, one-dimensional, boring-ass characters. And that's what it is. That's what it is. Guys like Harrison Ford make you feel insecure. They make you feel bad about yourself. You look at him and all you see is envy. And that's what I got from the tweet. Envy. You know what envy is? It's a deadly sin. And it comes from pride. And pride is the deadliest sin of all. You should probably look to fixing that and find some humility. Oh, and find some talent. Either that or go and be an accountant. Because you're terrible at your job. If you still have your job. I'm not sure you do. And Mr. Iger, you've got a problem. If this kid is doing this to a legend and an icon, okay, because you still gotta make Indiana Jones. All right. How do you think this is? And I know for sure Hidalgo's been talking about it. And I'm going to make damn sure the right people know that he said what he said, so this can all be taken care of. Okay? Because if he's not gone, he needs to be gone. This is the most unprofessional thing I have seen from him since before he got bitch slapped when Solo came out. Alright? I mean, there's a reason, I've said this before, but there's a reason why Solo didn't do very well. A, it was a shitty script. People were pissed off at TLJ. And Alden Ehrenreich was the last person on the planet that should have been cast in that role. There's a reason why Harrison Ford got that role. Let me explain what it is. Casual, masculine charm, sexiness, charisma. That's Han Solo. That's Harrison Ford. Alden Ehrenreich is a barista. He's literally, there's absolutely no reason for him at all to be Han Solo. And I'm pretty sure that after the numbers that I've seen that people have sent me, that losing $200 million has pretty much killed any idea of him ever playing that role again. But I just want Pablo to hear that, because we're all sick and tired of his shit. Okay? There's no reason for him to be working at Lucasfilm if he still is. He needs to go. He really needs to go, and he needs to publicly apologize to Harrison Ford, Mark Hamill, just because I think he should, and J.J. Abrams. Alright, this is Steph, signing out. See you on the galaxy. So, the next few clips are from, pictures are from a few Harrison Ford's movies. Obviously, American Graffiti, Star Wars as Han Solo, Blade Runner, of course, Indiana Jones, Indiana Jones franchise, Frantic, and just a few other pictures. Mosquito Coast. And I could have put more on, but this thing would go on forever and ever and ever. So I hope you enjoy them. And see you around the galaxy. And Pablo, you need to apologize.